What's up guys, Thomas here. Today, we're gonna be getting into why your travel videos suck. Now, I see quite a lot of travel videos that aren't quite up to the mark. Now, this isn't a mark that I'm necessarily setting, this is a mark that you're saying. I'm making you this video because you potentially think that your travel videos suck and can get better. And these are the top 3 reasons why that's happening. These are the top 3 things that I keep on seeing over and over again in the travel videos that I look at that can be improved, and if they got polished up, the travel video would go from here to here in quality, professionalism, enjoyment, and everything. So, we're gonna be getting into these today. Let's do it. Okay, reason number 1 is context. In your videos, there is none. What you have to do is give context to a few key questions. Number 1 being why. Why is this happening? Why are you where you are? Why do you like or potentially not like what's happening or what you're doing? Why are you doing it? The answers to this question can be either searingly obvious in your video, or they can be subtle and you can give hints and clues visually. So very obvious stuff is vlogging. You can literally tell your audience a story, why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, why is this happening. You can also explain the what and the where very easily and obviously. All right, good morning guys. We are in Nusa Penida right now. This is an island just off Bali. We just took a 30-minute boat trip. So far, this is the first time that I've seen the Bali that I was actually expecting when I came out here. A voiceover, you can do the same thing.
10 hours on the road every other day. A different people and culture to anything I'd ever seen. Multiple once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
Less subtly is things like titles. You can just use a simple title to establish where you are, for example. Or a quick title sequence to establish why what is happening. Or you can do it visually, which is the hardest and potentially most sophisticated method of doing it, and tell this story through the information in your shots. Why is this happening, you know? Maybe you make a video about being present to the moment. This is what your video is about. It's maybe about a lesson that you've learned. You're trying to share the experience of what it's like to be present in the moment. So you don't necessarily need to say literally why and talk about it. You could do that visually through your video, including these kind of sensory experiences that you transmit through your shot that will hopefully transmit this message of why you're here in the first place making your video. Reason number 2 is no thought put into the composition of your shots. I see a lot of videos that are actually fairly well edited. They've got all of the editing basics really down and they make quite tight, good videos to start out with. But the problem is they're working with very amateur-looking footage. So they really have to kind of constrain themselves. For example, when choosing the best part of a clip, maybe a clip is 10 seconds long, but the only good part of that clip is maybe 1 second where it's kind of okay footage and you just have to constrain yourself to using just that 1 second. However, as soon as you start improving the quality of your shots, especially in the composition, then that 1 second of just about usable footage could become 5 to 10 seconds of perfect quality footage that you have the creative freedom to choose which part is best, where it goes, and why. So as soon as you improve the composition of your shots, and I mean everything from the steadiness of them to the quality of the movement, paying attention to photography rules such as the rule of thirds, leading lines, seeing things in shapes and patterns, etc., right the way through to the technical stuff like exposure, white balance, things like that. The higher quality these things become within your shots, the better your shots are going to be, and therefore the better your edits are going to be. I use the analogy of building a wall. So when you're editing, you're putting all the bricks into your wall and you're making the wall, you're making the structure of the wall. But your shots represents the quality of each brick. So what that means is that you can be the best wall maker in the world, but if you're working with a load of bricks that are misshapen and trodden on and kind of broken, then you're never going to build an amazing wall. But even if you're an okay wall builder, if you work with great bricks, you can build something pretty solid and pretty good. So that means that you should really work on improving the composition of your shots, read a photography book, get this stuff in mind, and your videos are gonna get way, way better, and they're not gonna suck as much. All right, even if you've got those first two things down, you've got lots of context in your video, you have great composition in your shots, and hinting at great editing there as well. If you lack this final thing, then your video is gonna suck no matter what, and that is emotion. This is a hard one to pin down because it's kind of intangible, and there's no really kind of set way of getting it in your video or transmitting it to your audience. But if you don't have it in your video, it's gonna suck. You really need to capture emotion and infuse that within your video. There's a number of things that emotion can be infused within, whether it's within each shot. You can have very emotion-infused shots within the vibe of your video, within the music and the rhythm of it, or in the story of your video and the overall structure of it and what the video is actually saying as a story, as like what it's communicating to your audience. I'm just going to leave this one with you here now. It's really something you need to keep in mind when making a video, and it's really the thing that at the end of the day is usually the video's purpose. It's to make your audience feel emotion. So what you need to do is keep it in mind whenever you're filming anything. Within each shot, try and put some emotion into that shot. Try and think about how you're feeling and infuse that into the shot, as well as when you're planning the video and making the story that you're actually going to film. If you want an entire list of gear, all the gear that I use, for free, click the link below and that'll take you to the page where you can download the gear list, and that's going to give you all the list of gear that I have, as well as gear that I recommend for people starting out in their travel filmmaking journey. I really hope you pay attention to these reasons, and I really hope that your videos are not going to suck anymore. All right, guys, keep filming. Catch you on the other side. Bye-bye.